I'm with Helen Saunders, and we are going to be doing a shoot here, and you'll see some of the results of that fairly soon, and you'll also see some of the tricks and methods that I use for setting up lighting equipment and cameras and creating some of the images that I create and that we create. Now, I can highly recommend getting somewhere early, especially somewhere like this, for several reasons. One, there's not so many people about. Two, you can get yourself ready before the best light hits. And three, your model has a chance to actually put her makeup on and get ready. There we go. Pointing question. Thank you. I'm ready for my close-up.
Right, well, we're just about to go and get the first shots in. The location here is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's just, yes, breathtaking is an understatement. For these first ones, I'm going to be using 24-70 2.8 Nikon lens. I'm going to put it on my Nikon body, funnily enough, and I'm going to be using a couple of speed lights. So, camera gear, flash gear, and I'm going to set the speed lights up on the floor to give a little bit of illumination because we're going to be backlit. So we're going to try and make sure that Helen is going to stand out rather than be in shadow. Okay, let's go. See you in a bit. Well, hello again. Okay, as you can see, our delightful model is getting ready for the first pose. This is going to be in the foreground with that rather delightful view in the background. Now, as you can see, the light is from that direction, which means here is going to be in shade. So I'm using two speed lights. One you can see in the distance over there. Here we go. And the other one is just down by my feet here. And I'm going to be going to shoot from up there, and hopefully without falling over. Okay, I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, this is the second setup. This is a bit closer up. We're going to get the valley in the background, and again we're going to expose for the sky. Now this time I'm looking for slightly more dramatic lighting, so I have used these handy posts, and I am using the flashes on full power on their widest setting to try and illuminate as much of this as possible. I'm using 400 ISO, 160th of a second, and I'm shooting at f5.6 to get a little bit of depth of field. So the background will be very slightly soft, but you'll still get all those lovely colours and detail. Right, let's try again. Now, we as photographers often complain about lugging all our gear around, about the light not being right, about angles not being right. Now, what you do need to do is spare a thought for your poor models. As you can see, Helen is over there. She's already done 3 different styles and shoots, and she's wrapped up warm each time. However, she's at the point at the moment she can't feel her toes. So much as a photographer you can be like, oh come on, I just want to get going, I'm losing the light. Do spare a thought for your models. They work very hard and they suffer for the art that we create. Okay, time for a quick break and a little review. Here's some of the images that we've just taken.
I'm driving down an empty freeway. No waiting
Well, as you can see, they've come out quite well. The strobes, the speed lights have illuminated Helen in the foreground and still allowed us to expose correctly for the background. There was a little bit of work needed to be done in Lightroom just to do some final balancing out, but basically it's there. The second set we actually did in a nook on the side of one of the buildings, and Helen pulled some incredible body shapes, and there was no extra lighting needed for those at all. Just going with the natural light, allowing them to be very dark, and allowing the fact that Helen's skin is much lighter than the surrounding subject has done all of the lifting that's needed. As you can see, there's different styles there. There is the nude within nature, and there is also the more close-up, which shows the figure in the specific area. At the moment, we are back in the car, as you can probably tell, and we're warming up because it is very cold. And as I say, I am dressed in nice big thick coats, hat. Helen isn't, and as you can see, she's reviewing the images that we've just done. Once she actually gets some feeling back into her toes, we will carry on with more.
Okay, we're back at it again. Helen has finally warmed up a little bit. I've finally warmed up a little bit. There we go, she's... Okay. Now, the next set we're doing, I have changed my lens. I have gone for an 85mm. I'm going to be shooting wide open because I want to get the background quite out of focus. And now I am shooting a full frame. If you're going to do a similar look and you've got a crop sensor, then a 50mm is ideal. Now, we're talking about prime lenses because they've got a much better, larger aperture, so you can really throw the background out of focus. And also in the lower light settings, they work well. Now, what I'm actually trying to do is I'm using a part of the building which is very dark. Now, as you can see in the background, the sun is creeping its way down. I need to get started before it actually hits us, because then it'll be too harsh a light and it won't work for art nudes. So what we're going to do, we're going to leg it up there. We're going to get Helen in a nice freezing cold piece of stone with sharp bits poking in her left, right and centre. And I'm going to take my time getting the lighting set up, and we're going to take some photographs that look really cool. See you soon. Okay, this is probably closer than you really want me to be looking at you, but tough. We've just done some shoots actually with the pillars behind me. Here we go. Helen was on the other side of those, and I've deliberately shot with no extra lights, using natural light only, and we're using this lovely soft light that is being cast because the sun hasn't reached us yet. Which is quite a nice little series of art nude ones there. So because all the rock and everything is so dark, and Helen's skin tone in comparison is very light, had to deliberately underexpose so as we don't blow out any of the detail on Helen. But that works because that means she'll stand out better in the shot. Also shooting wide open on the 85, or say if you're doing a crop sensor 50mm, gives a lovely separation, and the background is really out of focus and it looks brilliant pokey. Right, now we've now moved on, so you'll see some of those images in just a sec, obviously censored for YouTube. Now we noticed Helen found a piece of old scrap metal, so we've used that and we've done some very cool images with that. It actually looks like she's sitting on it, and we're going to do some more work with that anyway, because that was my idea. She found it, I had an idea, she's got an idea, so we're going to do that one in a little bit. But while I was here, I've noticed there's this grill over an access area. Now I'm going to shoot through the grill because the light coming through the access area is above Helen. She's going to be down below me. So I'm just going to show you. That's the grill. So now I'm going to shoot through it, and Helen is going to be naked underneath me.